Have you ever imagined a world where diseases like cancer or Huntington's disease are completely eradicated? Or where your fresh produce stays fresher longer and even tastes better? All of these things and more are possible with CRISPR-Cas9 gene editing. I've done a fair amount of research on CRISPR-Cas9 over the past couple years because I'm just really interested in it. I've found for myself that all people around the world can greatly benefit from the amazing things that CRISPR can do. My goal today is to teach you about CRISPR-Cas9 and convince you that its usage and research needs to go forward for the amazing benefits it has in the health science and agricultural fields. I will also identify the opposing person's viewpoint. Before I present to you how exactly CRISPR can benefit the health field and the agricultural fields, I'll give you some background to help you understand it a little bit more. CRISPR is actually an acronym, and it's just called CRISPR because it's easier than using the full name. It's a gene editing tool that is an enzyme that was discovered in 2012 by two scientists, Jennifer Doudna and Emmanuel Charpentier. It's part of the bacteria's natural defense system against viruses. According to the CRISPR guide from The Wire, CRISPR is a revolutionary new class of molecular tools that scientists can use to precisely target and cut out any kind of genetic material. Scientists can send in these CRISPR enzymes to target and cut out genes that cause health problems. CRISPR is often referred to as a pair of molecular scissors that is capable of cutting out specific sections of DNA. Now that you know a little about what CRISPR can do, it's time to understand why its research and usage should continue to go forward. What I think is amazing is that CRISPR has the potential to eradicate diseases like Huntington's disease, cancer, and even blindness. According to cancer.org, 9.5 million people worldwide die every year from cancer. According to the World Health Organization, 39 million people worldwide are affected by blindness, and to top it off, there's still no cure for Huntington's disease. But these ailments and more might be cured by CRISPR gene editing. According to The Scientist, which is an online marketplace for medical research, an Australian scientist recently eradicated cancer out of a mouse that was caused by HPV. Now this is just one scenario and one type of cancer, but think of all the different types of cancers that are out there that these people are suffering from worldwide. If CRISPR research and usage continues to go forward, these diseases caused by cancer will be eradicated, and these people can live longer and happier with the people that they love. In addition, CRISPR can treat blindness. A patient in Oregon, according to thescientist.com, was recently treated with CRISPR for their blindness. Of course, they don't know the results right now because it's so recent, but it's an amazing treatment using CRISPR for blindness that's paving the way for further treatments to cure blindness. And lastly, Huntington's disease. Huntington's disease is a neurodegenerative disorder that causes symptoms such as difficulty swallowing, difficulty talking, muscle weakness, mood swings, and more. And there's no cure to it, so it will eventually kill the person. There's also juvenile Huntington's disease, which is diagnosed earlier in life and can also lead to a shorter lifespan. Scientists may be able to use CRISPR to target the MHTT gene, which causes Huntington's disease, and eradicate it completely, curing this disease once and for all. These tests right now are usually done in mice, which I think is amazing because it allows scientists to see exactly what they are doing in a smaller scale, and animal bodies are fairly similar to humans. Although treating illness in humans is one of the main goals of CRISPR, it can also be applied to the agricultural industry, which actually may have a bigger effect on you than you think. CRISPR can affect you personally by enhancing the very foods that you eat. Most, if not all, of the food that you eat comes from a farm, or at least all of the ingredients in it were grown at a farm. CRISPR can enhance the foods you eat in a number of ways. For example, according to Synthego, which is a genome engineering company, tomatoes can be enhanced to have more vitamin C, grow larger, and be resistant to bacteria. Rice can be engineered to increase its yield during harvest. Citrus fruits can be enhanced to resist bacterial infection that cause the greening disease. Chocolate can also be made better through CRISPR by making disease-resistant trees that develop the cocoa pods. And wheat. Wheat contains gluten, which can cause problems in people that have celiac disease or gluten sensitivities. Scientists are thinking and experimenting with CRISPR. They're trying to lower the amount of gluten found in wheat so that people with celiac and other problems can eat a wider variety of food. Hopefully it's clear to you now why furthering research on CRISPR must go forward. Yet some people are still opposed for a few reasons. Their reasoning is that CRISPR is used in animals, which they don't like, the testing, and they're concerned that scientists will abuse their powers by doing germline editing and playing God. On the topic of animal testing, a professor of philosophy at North Carolina State University stated that animals' rights are violated when they are used in research because they're not given a choice, and testing on animals is morally wrong, no matter how much humans may benefit. Although I respect this professor's opinion, I disagree with him. I think that animals are a gift to us because it helps us to further research and find out cures for different diseases. There's also a call to regulate germline editing versus somatic editing. Somatic editing means that the DNA in your body that is edited won't get passed on to your offspring because your reproductive cells aren't edited. However, germline editing means that you will pass on DNA to your offspring because the reproductive cells are edited or an embryo is edited in early developmental stages. The reason there's a call to regulate germline editing is because you don't know exactly the effects that that person will have later on, and there's no way of knowing unless it happens. So there's a little bit of debate there as to how scientists can go forward with germline editing. By now, I really hope that you feel the same way as I do, that CRISPR is very important and that its usage and research must continue to go forward. It's essential not only for people with life-threatening diseases, but also for you as a consumer in society. By continuing the research and usage of CRISPR, scientists may be able to cure cancer, Huntington's disease, create disease-resistant crops, and so much more. I encourage you to do some research on CRISPR and find out for yourself just how important it is for society as a whole. CRISPR is the answer researchers have been looking to for all these years. We have enough information right now to propel us down the right road into the ideal world, free of disease and full of the best foods to fuel us.